Then the Pharisees went out and laid plans to trap him in his words. They sent their disciples to him along with the Herodians. Guys, can we please jump to verse 23 of this Gospel of Matthew 22? It says, that same day the Sadducees, who say there is no resurrection, came to him with a question. Okay, guys, so now I want us to conclude. We've been speaking a lot, guys, concerning, these offices of the kingdom of heaven. Now you understand, guys, thoroughly, to just wrap up, that, first of all, an apostle is one who is like a herald, meaning someone who's bringing something new. And guys, after Jesus came and the disciples started preaching and compiling the Bible and finishing it, because it's finished. No one is going to complete the Bible. It's finished. No one is going to omit or edit unless that is a cult. So no one. It starts in Genesis to Malachi and from Matthew to Revelations 22. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Anything else is a cult. You understand? So these people, the Paul, the Peter, the James, the John, they were also apostles because they were bringing this new mystery that Jesus founded. You understand? So there's nothing new. So an apostle is one who's bringing something new. Now there's nothing new. They brought everything. You understand? I'm not important because I quote from them. I use them as reference. And I say this again, please never quote me, never use me as reference. Stick to the word. Stick to the word, guys. You can use the teachings and preachings as guidance, not as reference. You go to the word. If there is a mistake, you go to the word and correct it with the word, particularly the New Testament. You understand? It's not about me. It's not about people. It's about what Jesus is saying. That is if you want to make it to where he is. You understand? So we've come, guys, to understand that. So is this office still active nowadays? I don't think it's necessarily active because there's nothing new. Unless people open cults and tell us about Price of Great Pearl and tell us about Book of Nepli. That is a cult because there's nothing new. They are trying to make themselves important. Well, I always say people are important, just not that important. People have overestimated their importance. Well, what can you do? Satan is like that. There's nothing we can do. So we need guys to understand that if you go though to a country that has never heard of Jesus or to a village, which I doubt in this generation, which I doubt there is, but should there be, then you can be like an apostle because you're bringing something new to them. But to me, no one is going to be bringing anything new because there's Genesis to Malachi and there is Matthew to Revelations. In fact, I concentrate much on Matthew to Revelations, but because we had to understand the origin of Jesus and the origin of the word, this old covenant was attached to the new. Other than that, there's no need for it. We need to understand that. So we also speak about prophets. That a prophet is someone whom Daddy speaks through. You understand? So all these offices, you need to live a holy life because they have to do these things through you, Daddy and my Lord. You understand? So you need to live a holy life because you are like his spokesman. You understand? Spokesperson, you understand? So you speak on their behalf, they speak through you, you understand? So it's important. That's why when you see a real prophet, is one first who obeys his commands and does his will. Secondly, there are people who are not very sensitive to other people's feelings because to them it's about what Daddy wants, not what people want. You understand? Then we spoke about evangelist and we gave an example of Paul's speech, that you need to preach like Paul. As we said, guys, people are looking for something to worship. You find African people, many of them, wherever they are situated, wherever they are located, they just love ancestors. They love ancestors. Oh, Oh, African people, they love ancestors. I'm telling you, even at home, they love ancestors. They go to church, but they always remember their ancestors. Why? They are looking for someone to worship, someone whom they think is bigger than them. And they think that since this person is gone, so this person is bigger than them. Well, guys, that is not according to Jesus' teachings. Anything that is not according to his teachings, I don't take. Guys, I don't take. Believe me when I tell you. And then you look at Caucasian people, they will tell you that the world was created by UFOs. They will tell you that the aliens created the world. They believe in such beings. You understand? Why? Guys, people, we are all looking for something greater, something big, because we can see the sky, we can see the moon, we can see the sun, we can see the sea. Brooke Benton says that if you think God is dead, then you better look around. You understand? Because all these attributes, they reveal his divine power. They reveal that someone big is out there. And Paul says that in Romans 2. You understand? You look at Asian people, they worship Buddha. They take this huge statue and they worship it and everything. To them it's like someone out there. You look at Indian people. They take whatever object is available in their houses and worship it. Why? They are looking for something big. You understand? So, guys, this is something that is right, in the back of our minds. And guys, you find scientists are still searching. You understand? Because, see, guys, Daddy, while he reveals my Lord, while he reveals the kingdom of heaven, while he reveals hell, while he reveals such things concerning the kingdom of heaven, he doesn't reveal to everyone. You understand? I might know those things, but it doesn't mean that everyone, is, cognizant of those things. So there's a sun, though. There's a moon. There's a sky. There's a sea. You know that your grandma, your grandpa cannot create such things. You understand? So it's things like that. So Paul was taken to third heaven and he saw those things, So for him to preach like this, he was preaching from the place of knowledge, because preaching from a place of knowledge, guys, is different from preaching from what you've heard of. Which is good, but it's different. You understand? So it's things like that. So people are looking for something greater than themselves, and they know that something is greater than themselves. It's just that they don't believe that Jesus is existing. They don't believe that Daddy exists. You understand? They will tell you heaven doesn't exist, hell doesn't exist. And you often heard me say, your beliefs are not important. My beliefs are not important. What is important is what he says. Why am I saying that? And I always say that. The reason I say that is because after, realizing that Daddy still reveals, Jesus still reveals the things pertaining to the kingdom of heaven. He still reveals heaven. He still reveals hell. To me, it was like, well, human beings' beliefs aren't that important, because just because you might not believe these things doesn't mean that those things will go away. You understand? So it's things like that, guys, we needed to understand. We needed to make sure that you get that. So we also so while we were speaking about this office of an evangelist, you go and pitch to people. So we spoke about Paul's pitch, you understand. Now we also spoke about the office of a pastor. That a pastor is someone, guys, who nourishes, someone who actually incubate. You understand? The problem is that the difference between Jesus and his disciples, or the difference between the pastors of this day and Jesus, is that they love according to the world, whereas Jesus loved according to the truth. Jesus loves according to the truth. You understand? So you find them cheating. You find them, changing the word, preaching lies. They were actually trying to love, but according to the world. That's why they are cheaters. That's why you find them doing, all these wrong things. You understand? So it's things you need to understand. That's why I used my Lord as an example, because I can't use people in this generation. They've crossed over. I cannot do that. Really, guys, I cannot do that. Even Jesus will spank me if I do that. So we also spoke about the office of a teacher. that a teacher is one who teaches, you understand, and they've got the gift of revelation, the gift of understanding, the gift of knowledge, the gift of counsel, because this gift is needed in order, you understand, to be able to teach, you understand. So guys, we've concluded. Now the reason I quoted from Matthew 22, here I want you to understand that the problem that we are having is not a new problem, it's a problem of old. Guys, it's a problem of old. You understand? Because if you read verse 15, it says, Then the Pharisees went out and laid plans to trap him in his words. They sent their disciples to him along with the Herodians. Now, why am I saying this? I'm saying this, guys, because there were Pharisees, they were Herodians. You understand? And when you jump to verse 23, it says, That same day the Sadducees, who say there is no resurrection, came to him with a question. So they were also the Sadducees, meaning that they were different sects. You understand? They were different beliefs. You know, these people knew the Bible, carried the Bible, but because of the lack of understanding of there is power, you know, and scriptures, they concluded, people tend to conclude. So here, when you go down and you read about what the Sadducees were asking, because they were asking that since Moses told them that if you are married and you pass away as a husband, your wife should be given to your brother, and you also pass away, your wife should be given to the next brother and stuff. So they were asking that after resurrection, whose wife will she be? So Jesus says it's because you don't understand the word and you don't know the scriptures as well as the power of God. There is no marrying or remarrying after resurrection. People will be like angels, meaning that there is no marrying and no remarrying, you understand. So Jesus is correcting them because they were concluding now. In fact, human beings tend to look at daddy and think that he reason like us. He can't reason like us, guys. If you don't understand what happened in Genesis 3, that human being died spiritually, daddy can never reason like us. If you don't understand the difference between the people of old, meaning the people who lived in the old covenant times, and the people who were born after Jesus came, you will never understand the Bible because those are two different beings. That is, if you take Jesus' blood. Spiritually, Jesus reproduces you. And if he reproduces you, you become like him. So you need to learn to live like him. You understand? So you can no longer quote from the law of revenge, hand for hand, tooth for tooth, pen for pen, wound for wound. You understand? You come across people quoting those scriptures in this day and age. It's because people don't understand the Bible. People know scriptures. That's the problem we're having in churches. That these pastors are opening churches and they keep on telling us about scriptures without understanding the Bible. That is going to be a huge problem. That's why I always tell you, go to Genesis 3. Read it thoroughly because the Bible starts in Genesis 1, 2 and ends in Genesis 3. After that, it's the repairs. God is trying to repair man into his former nature because in Adam's there were two seeds, the wolves and the sheep. So Jesus is trying to get back the sheep back to their father. While the blood is available for everyone, both the wolves and the sheep, but Jesus is concentrating on the sheep. And you will be born a sheep, you will be born a wolf, and you will die like that. If you get saved, you will be a living wolf or a wolf, a living sheep. You understand? As it is, pastors from Pentecostal churches were spiritually alive, but we can now tell that they were living wolves because now they're dead. The word is here, yet they couldn't. The word, guys, is here, yet they couldn't. You understand? They couldn't fight their wolfism. Instead, they decided to teach us their own beliefs, like the Sadducees, the Herodians, and the Pharisees. You understand? So this problem is the problem of old. It's not new. You'll see Mammon there. You'll see Jehovah's Witness there. You'll see Pentecostal churches there. You'll see Zion churches there. You'll see Apostles churches there. Guys, you see all these different sects, all these different beliefs, yet carrying the Bible. Guys, it's not a new problem. It's a problem of old. You need to understand that people love to pretend as if they are Christians, because you can now understand that they are not interested in his teachings or in his word. They are interested in appearing as Christians because their teachings are not in line with the word. So this one, guys, is a problem of old. That's why I quoted from here. It's a problem of old. It's not new. It's still gonna be here. The beast is busy. Do not fast about it. Eat your ribs, eat your KFC, eat your burgers. Why? The problem is not going to go anywhere. Only Jesus will come and get rid of it. You understand? So, guys, I hope you now understand. Until next.